Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dina with Empressivewarrior, and this is the Daily Dharma. We've started out with a few pre-messages, just a couple of pre-made cards that came out, and the few that pertain to you. The first one is catalyst mantras, such as all of this or better, accelerate my process, or what is meant for me will find me. You may be using your own power, your own willpower and mental capacity to manifest and to shift your perspective. So this may mean that you had to kind of be somebody who stayed steady when there was doubt going on around you. And the next one coming out says, your simple solutions, affirming words, and common sense handling of complexity makes you highly sought after. So not only do you have the right mindset, you also are a problem solver and somebody who just sees things at face value and doesn't make things more complex than they have to be. Like, there's a bunch of people out here that think that everything has to get more and more complex to solve a problem where, maybe the answer is just something obvious to you. So the other three that came out seem like they're in a different vibe than what I was wanting to go for. So the first one is right perspective. And so you've got your perspective on the up and up over here, looking for the highest, trying to help people, heal people, and just be your authentic self and express from yourself. And this says, sharing your wins puts them in turmoil. Bitterness blocks them. They think that you brag. And they're mad because you have done what they never dared to try. So this is someone who doesn't tend to do the hard road, the straight and narrow. They try to take the shortcuts, the workarounds, or the safe and tried and true paths. So then we also have F around and find out. So somebody is, I feel, blocked by their inner turmoil that's been brought up. They don't understand what they are creating in their own energy. So as far as you've got all of this integration and enlightenment going on, somebody else is providing some type of darker mirroring situation for yourself. And it looks like they're coming to the point where they're going to do something to instigate something. I'm putting these ones back in the deck. We're not going to give that a whole lot of attention. I hope it doesn't keep coming out. As I split the deck, it splits to surpassing doubters and accomplishing the extraordinary. We had that one yesterday. And originally under the deck, we had line in the sand. So I think that you're making firm boundaries with another individual that's trying to project or instigate. So yeah, that came up just a little bit yesterday in the readings. Let's go ahead and get into the main deck and see what the code cards want to tell us about this situation for you. And also in the pre-messages from one of these side decks, I have the High Priestess ended up flipping from the top of the deck. And so we have her over here overseeing the reading. We'll have some messages from her in just a little while. What can we say for our readers? Catalyst mantras. The violet flame, yes. This is part of you correcting any type of old negative thoughts and feelings. And this shadow mirror of yourself could also be yourself in your lower moments. Looking at something from a point of scarcity would say, oh, well, they're lucky, or they have something that I don't, or I don't look as good, or I don't compare as well, I'm not as skilled. But when you transmute that through the violet flame, it reduces it to the truth and helps some type of higher mantra to emerge from that. So clarity is coming. So it looks like something that's been ongoing for you. We're also getting sacral chakra there. So this may be something that's created some self-doubt, or maybe even playing small in someone else's pre-scripted narrative. And I see that you're starting to reclaim your energy from other types of projected energies and stereotypes and storylines that were fed to you, and you're trying to alchemize your process so that you can clear up your thinking and affirm your deserving nature. So making some clear decisions for your future and what you're trying to call in and what you've been making space and allowing for. So it also came out yesterday. The fire Solaris Sublime that's actually the second, that's the third chakra. So we've got the second and third chakras, the sacral and the solar plexus here. There's a lot of creative energy coming forth from this discovery of who you are. Yeah, and then we just had a stack come off under the deck. Life force energy. So there's a return of your sacred energy, especially we've got this rising tide of energy. So it seems like it's emotionally based. There's a lot of watery energy. So the consciousness that is being integrated as a byproduct of having emotionally charged situations or perspectives. So some type of longing or some type of desire or fear or anxiety that arises. There's some way to take back your power from this, because anxiety, nerves, or stress or anger and all of these distracting energies need to be somewhat harnessed and directed into something that's going to catalyze your process. So not getting despondent and trusting that what is meant for you is on its way. So the pile that came out on the top, flipping face up, is Manifestia. Beautiful. And with all of these red energies and the passion flower shown here, and the very active third eye depicted, I'm seeing that this is somebody who's getting grounded and bringing that energy down into the root. So any type of animosity or anxiety or nerves or any types of judgments, fears, just pushing that down into the root and then calling it back up and recycling those energies to transmute them through the various channels so that your I don't know why the word is weird today in my mind, so that your manifestation is authentic and exactly what you were meaning to bring in. Beautiful. We've got 4 more. Our ancient future. You're manifesting something here, and it seems that you have a lot of frustration energy with trying to either get something off the ground or to see something through to fruition. It's like you're putting in what we in the third dimension want to call the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears. But there's something that spirit wants us to learn about the energy that's going into it and the reasons that we're plugging into as our why are we doing this? And is it why to show other people that they were wrong, or is it to live our best life at the base at the end of the day here? And I also see on those front two fish here, they've got the yin symbol on one and the yang symbol on the other. So there's some type of manifestation of a legacy as well. And in her hands, those DNA double helix, and there's light language on all of these bubbles moving around. This is definitely that priestess energy. It seems like there's been a huge activation, and it's showing up in your physical first. I would suspect in your physical body, like maybe you've noticed that the quality of your skin is improving, or your hair is improving, or your nails are stronger. These are, or maybe your body isn't as sore, or you're feeling more rested. Not for everybody. I feel like this is a very exhausting time for a reason. So there's going to be other indicators for other people. But I feel like this is um, something restorative is going on as we unlock these different levels of healing and creating these catalyst mantras. It's bringing in a lot of swift abundance and changing everything. So we've got this freedom card also, dragonfly. It's something transformative, especially with that priestess here, this ancient future and life force energy. There's a process going on where your body is changing. And that reminds me that a friend of mine was just pointing out about an increase in the plasma. And what this conversation led me to think of is maybe part of what we're going through at this time is almost like the fish and learning how to breathe a different ratio of atmospheric contents. And I'm also noticing between those two fish, we have that little squiggly line as if they're in telepathic communication. There's some type of freedom here to feel and think because of this shift of perspective that's going on with this catalyst mantra, that's giving you the freedom to release any self-doubts, and it's giving this whole glow up energy with this ancient future. Like there's a physical change and she's glowing and feeling so much better. Now this could be she, he, but then we have trust your innocence. So you don't really know what's going on, but you're being shown results, and things that are going on behind the scenes are giving you more hope than what the surface level has revealed. And perhaps this is because on the surface there are things that are sort of making you upset, making you challenge your ego and push through old boundaries and old limited thinking styles that you're ready to look them straight in the eye and surpass the limitations that were never yours to restrict you in the first place. They were just adopted and you adapted. But so trust this innocence as it comes back forward, where you may be less inclined to hold a grudge, or you may really want to just smooth things over after some type of a blow up, or just wanting to clear your schedule and go where the spirit would move you to go. Take time off to, what is this? The day out of time is coming up from the Lion's Gate. So there may be a need to withdraw from public scrutiny in some type of a way, to be around only yourself to hear your messages, or around a select group of individuals. Now we also have at the end of that stack this 21 co-creation communication co-creation. So there are a group of individuals, whether this is beyond this realm, speaking to you through the ethers or through your dreams, or if it's your contact with your own spirituality, or people online, or if it's truly a physical group of individuals. This seems to be something that's giving you a lot more faith and inspiration, shared frequency, and shared language. Like, you don't have to explain everything to each other, and then you can actually add to each other and uplift each other with these inspired thoughts and feelings. And so, just like those fish, you can see how these individuals, because they're safe and secure, they are not all in their own little energetic cocoons, but they are free and open and flowing with each other, through each other. It's like not needing to have a mask, not needing to feel closed up and guarded, but being open and honest with your eyes. So not shielding your eyes and so forth, and being open with your energy so that those good vibes flow from one to another. It may be a group of three. It's giving Three of Cups energy on the high side. So those are some of the things that are bringing in this change, is this feeling of this shift in perspective and shift in your inner feelings. So what about this? And I'll take this life force energy too, because that's a beautiful card. So your simple solutions, affirming words, and common sense handling of complexity makes you highly sought after. So I feel like you've been involved in a situation, and at least having some dialogue with people. You've been a sounding board for many of you, for friends, and somebody who sits at the brainstorming table, perhaps at your workplace and meetings, and you bring up a lot of things that others haven't thought about. And when others bring up things that you haven't thought about, you educate yourself and then look at the pros and cons and then present it back to the group with your findings. You're somebody who's able to make a very intelligent and I'm hearing well proportioned, evaluated perspective on the options that are coming your way. And it's not that you want to talk bad about one option, but you can see the good and the bad in both. So this may be some Libran energy coming through as well. But yeah, even in difficulty or in drama situations, it seems like you can really pierce through the shadow projections and mudslinging, like just walking through the center of it, and everybody stops in their tracks as you just say the simplest thing, like, why can't we just all be nice? Can't we all just have a conversation? And so people are like, yeah, how can that person keep their mind and their wits and their highest perspective and still believe and trust and have faith and in this chaotic situation? And somehow you're able to ground yourself in like that. So emergence comes forward here. So maybe you were somebody who wasn't necessarily known for this in the past, but due to recent developments, you've been really stepping forward. And maybe it's because you've been put into a situation where you are some type of mediator or moderator, trying to help two sides come together. Or maybe it's in your own life, someone else who sees a different perspective, and it's somebody you care about and you're trying to get along, or some type of adventure or project that you're developing. Yeah, we've got the Crystal Keys coming out, number 22. Crystal Keys also came out yesterday. It's another one of the Ascension cards that's been coming out quite a bit, talking about our ability to shift a situation in the way that what we say, those little bits of drops that we're putting into the consciousness of other individuals, then is helping them to consider a different perspective. And once that little ping has been made by whatever you have said, then that individual has some new type of download that's now resonant and activated throughout the harmonics of their own system, and it's helping others to awaken to their own process at the very least, because it's the awakening to the self that's the biggest and first hurdle to cross, perhaps, witnessing that we are all and all is in us. Ooh, yes. Number 5, the heart chakra pops out with that statement. Unfurling back into love. So instead of, let's say, taking the bait and jumping into an argument with someone else, or taking sides, or, reducing yourself to their level, you've been able to get right to the heart of the matter, because you have this unconditionally loving and equitable spirit. You are very neutral in charge for a big percentage of whatever you're dealing with. It's not that you don't have your human biases, but you're able to see it with the framework of the neutral observer, and somewhat almost the omnipotent observer too. It's that witness that is from the element of spirit. It's like everything becomes so simple. It's also giving, if you can explain it to a kindergartner, then you truly understand. But if it's too complex to explain to them, then do you really understand it now? I don't know. Certain physics concepts kind of can throw us all through a loop. Let's see, what else on this? Your simple solutions are bringing people back into their heart. They wanted to be upset with you. They wanted to maybe hold a grudge, but you're just too much in your love nature. And so they can be bitter, but they're going to have to avoid you if they want to hold that, because I feel like it's difficult not to love somebody who's in their loving nature. Awakened awareness, absolutely, 17. So I see the reds in that as well, and that's giving that manifestia color again. And holding them up, you see the stars in the background of this card. Oh, what just fell off? And that reveals balanced forces here. Exactly, you're rebalancing something to manifest an awakened awareness within the hearts of other individuals, putting a stop to something that is no longer going to be allowed or tolerated. Ooh, beautiful. Okay, so we also have the Merkaba, number 32. And the Merkaba talks about our presence and our auric shield, and it's giving me this presence that you have when you walk into a room, that you are already subliminally working on the energies of the others in your midst, kind of like this card, where if they sense that you are trustworthy and they have faith and trust in you and open themselves to you, then they start to already open themselves and unfurl with you in dialogue or in telepathic heart space communication. It's like the high heart and the higher selves are communicating in this process, and you're reaching out to their higher self, and in mutual reception, they to yours, and creating this initiation that brings them back into the heart space with an awakened awareness of the impact that they are having and the impact that they want to have. Now, I do love it when She of the Lotus 43 comes out with this crystal keys. Look at that activated crown chakra. It's as though these two individuals, and if you're watching this everyone. Yesterday's reading had two feminine priestess type energies kind of mirroring each other but seemingly looking different. And this one, it's hard to compare them. They are very different, but they both have so many skills in their own rights. And I'm sensing that the crystal keys one is one who's more of the crystalline age. They were probably born a little later or more compatible with technology and um, all of the newer age type of technologies. They probably have a lot of crystals that they work with and so on. They probably, um, yeah, they probably are an empath. Where this individual over here seems more like the magician archetype, I would say. And they showing up as green, it could talk about that they have more of a 3D earthly perspective, very rooted into the plant and animal kingdom, perhaps, because they're also shown with a lotus. So it could be somebody that is still, while this one's crown is wide open, you can see that this one, that light is just starting to really unfurl. And uh, so it seems like theirs is coming in what seems to be fits and starts. And so it seems as though they almost have this sadness. I don't know if there's something else going on in the background of their situation, creating some depression, sadness, or something emotional, an emotional release happening with this healing they're going through. But there's some type of a mind-blowing epiphany that is awakening them through this collaborative communication. And perhaps they're the stick in the mud, and they're recognizing the more that this newer, upgraded, healthier dynamic is playing out in front of them, they're having to take a step back and find out what it is that they've been messing around with and how they've been sabotaging the type of collaborative, loving, validating experiences that they could have been calling into their life all along. So now we have next this journey to wholeness. Let me give her a little bikini top here. It's a beautiful, beautiful card. And we see her submerged below the waters. And she's got all of this beautiful rainbow energy coming up through her. And if you remember how we started with this violet flame process, it seems that you've already mastered this to a certain extent because you've already integrated your earthly dimensions and you've come out of the water and you're exploring the cosmos. So you're already at this multidimensional state where this other individual here is under the water. So they're kind of earth-born and you're more star-born, if you will. And so there's a different perspective. But this person seems like they've been praying for this and they've been doing a lot of integration work. There's again these lotuses all around and an eye in the middle of the star in the middle of the lotus. So they're really looking into their insights and then behind that curtain and into where it all began. And it looks like this is the deepest level of healing this person may have gone through thus far. And it's giving also the story of Sedna. You can look that one up too. It's beautiful, and it has to do with the betrayal of the patriarchal structures and getting kind of caught up in that and feeling rejected and abandoned, left behind for dead kind of by the establishment. And so this person might have been stuck in some type of old socialized normalized behavior that was actually harmful or hurtful, and at the very least wasn't leading to co-creation. It was stifling and limiting. It was very boxed thinking. And so they're using their discernment, and so are you in this communication and speaking to the highest within each other instead of giving up, because there is a lot of passion stirred up in the form of emotions right now, and the two of you are potentially huge powerhouse forces that are trying to mesh, mingle, and harmonize instead of clashing. So I was going to get us some shamanic cards. I'll go ahead and come back on for that. Let's go ahead and get a couple cards from something a little lighter to finish up our reading. Time for a love fest. Actually, everyone is reasonable. They all just have their own reasons, and usually it's worth trying to learn what they are to maximize chances of a full-blown 60s style psychedelic love fest, which is always a good thing. Groovy you, the universe. So what else? Turn on your love light. Yeah, glow up and keep on shining. Keep on coming back with fresh eyes. Sometimes the best way to remain sane is to just love like crazy and get back into that unconditional high heart chakra and unfurl back into love. Yeah, sometimes you gotta be the first one to reach out. Let's see, anything further? You needn't worry. There's no one in your life who hasn't always loved you. They're all just learning how to show it. Big sillies, the universe. So it's important for you to love in spite of it all, because you've caught someone's eye and it's time for you to heal, and it's all kind of coming together at once for you. And you're healing hearts along the way. It might seem like you're breaking them, but sometimes, as the saying goes, it takes the heart to break in order for the light to get in. So maybe you've been put into that position, but it's coming back around. And final messages for the collective. Gentle moderation, 42. Take your time. Pressure from others or yourself can be released by renegotiating what it is you're trying to accomplish. You got a lot of wisdom. You're long in the tooth, as they say. And looking at the underbelly, the shadow selves. Be sure that you're using your time in the best possible manner in the highest perspectives. You might consider taking time to organize yourself or a project that you're working on, because something here could use some fine tuning in your life. And it looks like just using those catalyst mantras and saying that person wants the best for me, that person truly loves me, but we need to just figure out how to communicate. Under the light of the moon, it's coming together with the moon cycles. A full moon can shine light on what it is that you may have been resisting, or another. And this can be anything from your fears to exploring your full soul's inner beauty. So take good care of yourselves. Love you so much, and check out the description box for the deals for August 2025. Thank you so much, and until next time.